tricks on you.
Madison, good to see you again. We just talked for Nocturne.
I know. How are you?
I am fantastic. And Israel, it's great to meet you, though virtual. Fantastic work to both of you all.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, man. All right. So I got to start off with something fun. Madison, let's see. The movie's coming out February 12th. Somebody's getting a movie for their birthday. I know it's 2 days later.
I know, but yeah, it's literally like the best birthday present ever.
That's so cool. And the fact that your birthday is Valentine's Day, I bet you got lots of candy as presents. I bet you still get lots of candy as presents.
I actually, when I was younger, I hated it because you know how like everyone would throw birthday parties at school? Mine was always just Valentine's Day. Everyone would just give me their leftover candy, which I guess is still nice, but.
Yeah, I would rather take Valentine's Day than people that have December 25th. As a birthday, because you get presents, even though it's sweet tarts and the candy hearts, you know, with the words on them. But for Christmas, you don't know if you're getting that or what you're getting for your birthday. What guidance did you give your cast as you were filming?
I think mostly just to keep things in reality, because there's so much of the movie that does kind of upend reality and challenge reality and put there's a lot of questions that I wanted all of the performances to be as real as possible. I don't like actors to push tone, and I gave them a lot of resources for researching, particularly Maddie, researching schizophrenia. And I think Harry like had someone who a psychiatrist friend of his or something like that read it to make sure that it was an accurate portrayal. So they went to consult their own people as well. But as far as I was concerned, the most important thing was that it be believable, that single moment strike us as real. Because I wanted, there's so many things that she sees or hears that may or may not be real, that the performances needed to be believable.
The one thing that I love about this film is that there's drama, a little bit of romance, there's a thrilling element to it. And I also like the fact that it addresses mental illness, specifically schizophrenia, where the person, you know, that suffers from this mental illness isn't the villain. So I will start with you, Madison. What learning process, how much of a learning process was this for you to prepare for a role like this?
Huge learning process. I learned so much about schizophrenia and mental illness as a whole and just what it is. And I realized that my idea of what I had of it was just so not wrong, but there's just so much more to it. So, I mean, Castille and I, we both just did so much research, just watched tons and tons of videos. There was a memoir that we followed religiously, The Center Cannot Hold by Ellen Sachs. And that really was kind of a guidance throughout our entire filming process. Just speaking with individuals and friends and family and doing the best that we could, Castille and I together collaboratively to give, you know, the best portrayal that we possibly could.
Tell me where this whole thing started for you. What inspired you to tell this story?
So the original inspiration was that I wanted to tell a story about a young woman who had a mental illness, with the aim of putting her as the protagonist in order to challenge assumptions about mental illness. And with that being the case, I set out to figure out which one I wanted to explore. And schizophrenia made the most sense because I think it's the most stigmatized, the most misunderstood, and also lends itself because there is a visual and auditory element with the hallucinations. I think it really lent itself well to cinema. So because of all of that, it ended up being schizophrenia.
Israel, what a friend Caleb is. I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I would have stuck, and no spoilers in this interview, but I don't know if stick around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it had to have been kind of a learning process for you being the friend of this person, correct?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, what's important to note is Caleb is kind of he's new to town, he's new to school, and he's a bit of an outsider and an oddball himself. So I feel like when Rain makes it back to school and he takes notice to her, he kind of gravitates towards her and befriends her. And I think he kind of selfishly looks past all of the oddities that Rain goes through, and then when he realizes it's a little deeper than that, I think I really enjoy how he puts himself to the side, and just he's there to be an ear and try and understand, and he doesn't just shove her to the side where I feel most people would. It's a bit unknown, and there's it's a little intimidating. There's a bit of a fear around that. So it was nice.
As a director, you have to be extremely proud of this cast. I mean, everybody just did a tremendous job. We spent some time with Harry Connick Jr. He came to visit us here at our station here in Houston. Of course, he's from Louisiana, and Katherine as well. But how awesome are they to work with? I mean, Harry's just a nice guy. Katherine is amazing. You have to be extremely proud as a director.
Oh yeah, like the kids feel like my own kids. They're not that much younger than me, but they feel like my own little babies watching them. And I find myself in these interviews like gushing about one actor when I really just want to gush about them all, because they're all so wonderful. And we really did become kind of a family on set.
There are thrilling elements to this. So Madison, I'll start with you on this question, and Israel, you're going to get the same question. Could you feel like the adrenaline? Because honestly, it's edge of your seat. I was leaning into the screen, kind of like, where is this going? Could you feel that while you were filming?
Oh, absolutely. And I think Castille did a really great job of making everything feel as real as possible, especially even when we were going, through my neighbor's house. There was that whole long sequence of me like, nah, you got
Can't
me.
say that.
Oh, okay, no more spoilers. That didn't give away anything. But yes, there's a lot of stuff in there that is built up there, present in the moment. It was thrilling on set. It was exciting.
What do you hope that people discuss though afterwards? Because I know it's entertainment, and that's a question that some directors like, well, I don't really want to, I want people to, be entertained and take their mind off of stuff. But the fact that it does deal with mental illness, there will be maybe some discussions after they say like, yeah, I was entertained. It's a thrilling movie. As I mentioned, the romance kind of is in there. But people might say, I didn't know that much about schizophrenia and the reality of it. Is that what you're kind of hoping people get away from?
Absolutely. I want people to be excited and thrilled while they're watching the movie, but I do want them to come away with a greater discussion and maybe feel compelled to do their own research, or at least challenge their own views, or tell someone, hey, did you know that like this is anything like that, I think would be great. And it's great to hear you say that, because that to me is always what I am thinking as a filmmaker. But then it seems kind of idealistic to be like, oh, I want people talking about an actor. But I think this does actually pose questions and cause you to kind of do some, reevaluating of your own beliefs about mental illness.